Welcome to the Mystery Vault. They said the church only looked toward heaven to pray, but what if they've been watching something else all along? High on Mount Graham in Arizona, surrounded by military fencing and desert silence, stands one of the most advanced observatories on Earth, the Vatican Advanced Technology Telescope. But the instrument that gives this facility its reputation isn't just another scientific tool. Its name is Lucifer. The acronym officially stands for Large Binocular Telescope Near-Infrared Utility with Camera and Integral Field Unit for Extragalactic Research. But behind that sterile scientific title lies something much deeper and much darker. Locals have long whispered that the Vatican didn't build the telescope to study the stars, but to watch something approaching Earth. For decades, the Church has claimed an interest in astronomy as a way to understand creation, but this project, stationed on a mountain once considered sacred by Native American tribes, is different. According to insiders, the Vatican's observatory operates independently from any government and receives encrypted data transmissions not shared with NASA or any civilian research body. Officially, its purpose is to observe deep space and detect infrared signatures of distant galaxies. Unofficially, leaked memos describe something far more specific, tracking an object of non-terrestrial origin moving beyond the Kuiper belt. The same object, according to ancient Sumerian texts, was called the Destroyer. Some of the Vatican's own theologians, speaking off record, admit that the Church is preparing for an encounter. That word encounter appears repeatedly in correspondence between Jesuit astronomers who work at the observatory. One line stands out from an internal report allegedly written in 2012. "We are not waiting for discovery. We are waiting for confirmation." In 2014, a strange event occurred. The telescope's feed went dark for 17 minutes. When it returned, data logs showed a massive energy spike, the kind seen only when something emits infrared light from within our solar system. That data was never released to the public. Shortly after, Father José Gabriel Funes, then director of the Vatican Observatory, gave an interview where he said, "The universe is too vast for us to think we are alone. The existence of other beings does not contradict our faith, it deepens it." To the world it sounded like open-minded theology. To those who know what Lucifer is really watching, it sounded like a warning. Because if the Vatican has its eye on the heavens, the real question is, what are they waiting to see return? For centuries, religion and science were enemies. Yet now, one of the most ancient religious powers on Earth controls one of the most advanced scientific instruments ever built. And that paradox, faith watching the stars, hides the true purpose of the Lucifer telescope. Officially, the observatory operates under the Vatican Observatory Research Group, staffed by Jesuit astronomers, men of faith and physics, blending prayer with particle theory. But among the staff, there's one man whose silence spoke louder than any sermon, Father Malachi Brennan, an astrophysicist who vanished in 2017 after leaking encrypted documents, referring to something he called Object EXO13. According to the fragments he shared, EXO13 was not a star, not a planet, and not a comet. It was a moving infrared signature, massive, intelligent, and changing trajectory. It pulsed in rhythmic intervals, not like a natural body, but like a signal. The coordinates of its detection were partially censored, but analysts identified one key detail. The light originated near the Orion constellation, the same star system that ancient Egyptian texts describe as the home of the gods. Why would the Vatican be the one watching that? Satellite archives show that in 2012 and again in 2018, the telescope recorded bursts of infrared radiation matching the same frequency, a frequency almost identical to one found in ancient Sumerian symbols of communication. When journalists requested those files, access was denied. The official statement, data corruption due to atmospheric interference. But what really caused that interference? A former technician who worked briefly on Mount Graham before being reassigned described nights when the telescope wasn't aimed at galaxies, but at a single point of space. "It wasn't scanning, it was waiting," he said. "We were told to record any changes, even if the system didn't move. They said if it flashes again, humanity will have to reconsider theology." Reconsider theology. Those two words have haunted researchers for years. Creation and existence itself could collapse in a single revelation. In 2019, a leaked Vatican cable, authenticated by former intelligence sources, mentioned an internal briefing titled Project Advena. The report warned, "The arrival will not contradict Scripture, it will complete it." Since then, the mountain has grown quieter. No more public tours, no more press visits, only silence. And the eerie red glow of the Lucifer telescope, fixed on a part of the sky that NASA's public systems no longer display. Whatever they're looking at, it's not a star, and if the whispers from the observatory are true, it's getting closer. For centuries, the name Lucifer has been synonymous with darkness, the fallen light-bringer, the one cast out for seeking too much knowledge. But what if that story wasn't about rebellion, but revelation? When the Vatican named its telescope Lucifer, it wasn't a coincidence. In Latin, Lucifer means light-bearer, the one who brings illumination or truth. And perhaps that's exactly what this device was built to find. Not stars, but the source of light itself. Archived Vatican manuscripts mention a prophecy attributed to the Book of Enoch, one of the banned texts removed from the official Bible. It describes the Watchers, beings who descended from the heavens and taught mankind forbidden knowledge. In the same passage it warns, when the light-bearer returns to the heavens, the sky will burn with 7 flames, and mankind will look up in fear. For theologians it's allegory. For astronomers at Mount Graham, it's data. In 2020, leaked infrared imagery, allegedly captured by the Lucifer telescope, showed a formation of 7 heat sources moving in unison beyond the orbit of Neptune, pulsing at harmonic intervals. NASA never confirmed the report, but within days, both the Vatican and the European Southern Observatory quietly issued statements denying unusual findings. Meanwhile, internal documents from the Jesuit Astronomical Society referenced anomalous celestial patterns consistent with artificial synchronization. Translation: something intelligent was moving out there. And yet, the Vatican remained silent. Why? Because acknowledging that we're not alone would shake the foundations of every faith system on Earth, especially the one built on the idea of divine uniqueness. But the Vatican has always known the stars hold more than we've been told. Back in 1999, a classified collaboration between the Vatican and NASA, known as Project Advena, allegedly used data from multiple observatories to track an object they called the returning light. According to whistleblower testimony, the project's true goal wasn't to prove alien life, it was to confirm prophecy. An entry found in a Vatican briefing document dated 2001 reads, "When the returning light crosses the veil of Orion, mankind will remember what it was taught and who it once served." What could that mean? Some say it refers to a civilization that once interacted with humanity before the Great Flood. Others believe it's about something far greater, a consciousness, watching, waiting to be seen again. And if the Lucifer telescope truly is the eye of the Vatican, then maybe it isn't gazing at the heavens to find God. Maybe it's looking for the one who fell from it. In 2023, deep space monitors across multiple countries recorded a faint but recurring signal. It came from the same coordinates the Lucifer telescope had been locked onto for years, the constellation of Orion. Publicly, scientists dismissed it as a pulsar, or data interference. But a leaked Vatican communiqué described it differently. The pattern is linguistic. The cadence resembles prayer. The idea that a cosmic frequency could resemble human liturgy was absurd, yet recordings analyzed by independent experts confirmed a mathematical rhythm within the signal, a 7-tone sequence, identical to ancient Gregorian chant intervals. Was it coincidence or contact? Weeks later, the telescope's data stream was encrypted permanently, and for the first time in its history, the observatory went dark. Rumors spread that the Vatican received a private transmission before the blackout, a fragment of a message decoded by Jesuit scientists. The text, translated from binary, allegedly said, "The light returns." Some say it was a hoax. Others believe it was confirmation that the light bringer has been found, not as a myth but as a presence. Since then, sightings of strange luminous phenomena near Mount Graham have multiplied. Witnesses describe columns of golden light piercing through the desert sky, accompanied by low harmonic sounds. Whether these are atmospheric anomalies or something far more profound, one thing is certain. The Vatican built the Lucifer telescope to look for God. But what it found might be the one who fell from him. And maybe that's why the Church has stayed silent. Because some lights aren't meant to be seen. The heavens were never empty, we just stopped listening. They said it was just a telescope, but what it's watching might change humanity forever. Subscribe to @TheMysteryVault 777 and join the investigation into the truth above us, because sometimes the heavens look back.